Hey, what is up guys, StingKnight. In today's video I'll be showing you guys a build for the Inkwell fan and Vernal umbrella. So let's talk about the inner first. We got the stable Morale Chan here. Just a nice damage buff overall, 5% damage buff, 10 physical penetration, quite easy to stack up. We have Blossom Barrage, which increases the umbrella's Q skill here, that whatever target you hit will take extra damage from your umbrella skills, and it increases that damage by about 10%. Next, we have the Battle Anthem, which increases our charge skill damage against all enemies by 10%. So this is really nice because our main damage will be our left click charge on the umbrella. The fourth one here, once again, you can really go with anything you want. I have decided to go for Star Reacher. The basic buff, you won't always be able to proc this. However, when you get it to tier 3, just say straight up 10% physical attack increase against exhausted targets, which is going to be quite useful. However, when you don't have that tier 3, you can gain 10% physical attack bonus for 8 seconds if you knock an enemy airborne. So against bosses, you're not always going to be able to proc this. You can proc it sometimes, but you're mostly going to be proccing it against trash mobs. Now let's talk about the weapon skills, starting off with the fan. We have our Q here, which creates a barrier between you and the enemies. Non-boss targets cannot walk through this wall. You cannot walk through this as well, so just keep that in mind. It also works as a dodge skill, so if you use this as the boss hits you, you will get like a slow motion when you do a perfect dodge. Using your Q makes it a lot easier to do a perfect dodge as well. So when the boss hits you, you press Q, you dash back, it's like a slow motion perfect dodge, and then you can hit the boss. Now one thing to keep in mind of is that your Q also gives you a 20% damage buff. I'm going to press it once again. You see enhanced ballistics, so your damage will increase by 20%. You can stack it up again. You can get it to tier 2. Now, I'm not 100% sure if this is like 40% damage increase. I don't think it is. That seems very, very strong, but it certainly will enhance your damage overall, even just by using it once. And then we got our tilde skill here. So it is a dash to target. It knocks them airborne. It leaves a ghost behind, which if you press tilde key again, you will teleport straight back to it. And then we also have our left charge skill, which is a tornado, which knocks enemies up as well into the air. Now, one thing to mention, I'm going to test out on the target here. You can knock up a target into the air and then press your R key. You don't need to charge it. You will then do a air combo. So something like this. Left charge. Press R. Like that. So you kind of knock them up into the air. You can do the same with your tilde key as well. And also your basic light attack is like a medium long range skill. It doesn't go forever, but it will hit an enemy within like a reasonable distance. So you still don't want to be too far from the boss just because you're ranged. Onto umbrella. So same again, your left attack is also kind of like medium range. It's not super long range. If you're too far away, you will easily miss the boss. And then for our Q skill here, this one is actually super long range, and it will first stun an enemy. That usually works for trash mobs. It doesn't really work for bosses. It can hit multiple targets at once if they're like in a pile. And also, whatever target you hit will take increased damage from your umbrella skills from our Blossom Barrage in a way. You will notice these little blossom thing in the umbrella, kind of like the resources for this weapon. You can fill up just by using this umbrella, and then you will want to discharge it with your tilde key skill. So let me just hit these mobs. So as you can see, I'm hitting these mobs and I'm gaining a bunch of these blossoms. And then I'm going to show you my tilde key skill. The tilde key skill just turns your umbrella into the air. It will do continuous damage to an enemy nearby, and then you can weapon swap and keep this up like that. So you can still DPS with the other weapon while your umbrella is in the air, damaging the enemies for you. And then we got a mage damage skill here on the umbrella. It's your left click light charge skill. This is the continuous spam attack that will consume your endurance, so you got to be careful with your endurance here. You can't keep moving in the air, so that's super useful. You basically take no damage from trash mobs, but you will take damage from bosses though, so keep it in mind. We also have our heavy R charge skill. It's kind of similar, but you get brought up to the air. You don't really do anything, you just kind of fly around, and then if you let go, it does like a big AoE damage on the ground. But I find that not that reliable because it kind of misses the enemies in front of you. It kind of goes around the enemy sometimes, so I don't use this too often. Now let's talk about the Mystic skill. I'm still using Dragon's Breath as a big damage dealer. As a dot you can fit in and then animation cancel immediately. And then you can use Drunken Poet to do extra damage when the target has the fire dot from the Dragon's Breath. I also really like Soaring Spin right now. It does 2 hits really quick and easy damage onto the boss. And then Meridian Touch always have this to interrupt the gold attacks. And then that's really the primary ones I'm using. The other ones are kind of whatever. I do have Cloud Steps here. You can use it for gap closing, but if you're really like saving your vitality for the damage output, I don't think Cloud Step is that worth it. In terms of the gear, for the Veil of the Willow set is extremely useful here because after a light attack or a heavy attack or airborne light or airborne heavy, your attack damage is increased by 12% overall, lasting for 10 seconds. So this can come in quite handy sometimes, and 12% is just a huge increase if you can get this off. So it kind of works like if you use a light attack, your heavy attack will be increased by 12%. So now I'm going to test out some combos, like general combos you can use overall. I recommend starting with the fan always and then swap to umbrella. So I will hold left click charge skill from the fan, and then I would knock him up with my tilde key and then use the R combo, use my Q, weapon swap, use my Q again from the umbrella, and then hold my left click charge skill. Kind of like this. Like, there's like no way for them to even close in on you. Once you're done with that, if they're still trash mobs, you can pop your tilde key skill, and then weapon swap back to the fan, and then just go with whatever combo you wish to keep going. So here's an example of how I would use like the combo against a actual solo boss. So you start out with the fan, we press Q here, weapon swap with our scroll wheel immediately, and you want to press Q for the damage boost on the target, and then you just want to hold left click charge, try to get off as much as you can, and then don't forget to let go of the light attack charge button to drop off, and then you can press F. So here's an example of the combo I would use against a boss if their exhaust timer was not the slower one, when it goes off quite quickly. For this combo, we are going to skip out using our fan completely. We want to weapon swap immediately into the umbrella, press our Q, and then hold left click charge, and then once again make sure to drop off, let go of the light charge skill, and then press F. So that's going to be it for this video, guys. I hope you guys found the video helpful. If it did, make sure to leave me a thumbs up and subscribe for more future Where Wins Me content. As always, thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.